And now we come on to another really important subject, the menopause. Now, in my opinion, I think the menopause has been massively missed out within the industry for quite a long time. But over in the UK, over the last couple of years, there's been a big push to understand the menopause and to understand how that impacts our female clients, and ultimately how can we treat our clients who are struggling with the menopause. Because obviously it's a very important phase in a woman's life, and being able to adjust treatments to help support our clients is really important. Now, Alison is one of those people who is trying hard to understand how she can help women going through the menopause. She has been creating treatments, and today she's going to be doing a treatment and going through things about the menopause and how she helps her clients. So she's just finishing up now. Once she's finished setting up and her model's nice and comfortable, then I'll get Alison on stage. Alison's talk is called Menopause, Not the End, but a Victory Lap. I love that, by the way. This is Alison. Now, Alison is a menopause specialist, a nutritionist, and a CIDESCO graduate. So can we please have our hands together for Alison?
Oh, thank you, Hayley. Over 1 billion women are experiencing menopause right now. Are we meeting their needs? Now, when you look at statistics, 85% of women say that menopausal symptoms affect their quality of life. And 90% of women worldwide say that they do not feel educated in the menopause. Now, many women that come into your salons, your spas, your businesses, will be women over the age of 40. And many of these women will be trying to navigate the menopause. They're looking for answers, they're looking for support to make themselves feel better. Having worked as a nutritional therapist and a CIDESCO beauty therapist for over 30 years now, particularly specialising in women's health, 40 plus menopause, I really understand what these women want and need. So I have developed my Menopausal Wellness Concept, and this consists of 3 pillars. It consists of lifestyle medicine, nutritional guidance, and my mind and body reset massages for menopausal wellness. Now, this massage gives lasting calm, it gives renewed energy, and it gives true balance in menopause. That's what we want in menopause. We want balance. Now, Hayley gave me such a lovely introduction. I don't really need to say so much more about who I am. I am a nutritional therapist and a beauty therapist, and I specialise in women's health, using the functional medicine model, so really looking at the whole person. I'm a regular podcast guest, a speaker, a presenter, and, very exciting, soon-to-be author. I have a book coming out on the end of May on menopause. I also teach. So I teach nutritional therapy at the University of West London, and I teach beauty therapy at a college in Stockholm in Sweden, where I live. So just briefly now, what is the menopause? As I said to you earlier, that 90% of women say they don't feel educated in the menopause. The menopause is a huge subject. I could stand here for hours and talk about the menopause, but just very briefly before I start, what is the menopause? It's a transition that consists of perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Perimenopause, average age 46, This is where estrogen and progesterone start to become unbalanced. And this is where many women will start to experience menopausal symptoms. Then we have menopause, which is the next phase. Menopause starts average age 51, and this is where, when a woman hasn't had a period consecutively for a year, she is then in the menopause. Then, all the time after that is postmenopause. And postmenopause is the rest of a woman's life. And due to the decline in estrogen and progesterone, we are more vulnerable for chronic diseases such as osteoporosis, cognitive decline, cardiovascular disease, and it affects the integrity of the skin. There's so many different things that happen with the skin due to the decline in estrogen and progesterone. So yeah, I have developed my mind and body menopause massage. Some of the key elements of this massage that I'm going to demonstrate in a minute are its whole body wellness. Menopause affects everything, every bodily system, and it's working on the physical and emotional aspect of menopause. It has a welcome ritual using different techniques like the butterfly hug, body rocking, and then there's many other therapeutic techniques used in this massage, working on up to 32 acupressure points, directly helping to relieve menopausal symptoms. It's got emotional freedom tapping. It uses a luxury melting balm to really nourish the skin, lymphatic drainage, gua sha silk gloves, Guashana tools. So it's a very complete massage, tailored client care specifically for the person that you're treating. And it gives transformational results. When I've been working with clients with this massage, you really see the difference. They feel rejuvenated, rebalanced, and revitalized. So here we have it, full body, head to toe, working on every aspect that can be affected by menopause. Estrogen and progesterone are not just sex hormones. They affect every bodily system. So now I'm going to demonstrate some key areas of this massage. And I'm going to start with the welcome ritual, because we really want to relax the client and get the client back into the parasympathetic state, the relaxed state. So we start with some breathing exercises. But first we put the client's hands into what we call the butterfly hug. And this is a very grounding technique. If you can just put your hands like this. Very grounding, very relaxing for the client. So we then go on to doing some box breathing. Now, box breathing is the client breathes in for 4, holds for 4, breathes out for 4, and holds for 4. And this has been shown in research to really relax the body. This is something that you can recommend to your clients to do at home if they're feeling very anxious. Very good for anxiety. So if you just breathe in for 4, and breathe, hold for 4, and then breathe out, and hold for 4. So in the full massage, you would do the breathing exercises 3 to 4 times. And then we come on to tapping on governing vessel 20. Now, governing vessel 20 is at the top of the head, and this has a balancing effect. It's a very nice way to start the treatment. It also works on mood stability and hormonal balance. Then we come on to governing vessel 24, which is at the top of the forehead. This helps with brain fog. Now, brain fog is a key or a very common menopausal symptom. And then we just do some light effleurage, just to really introduce your hands to the client, coming up onto the scalp and onto the arms. We then apply a weighted eye mask, which is very relaxing for the eye area. And then we move on to the body, put the client's arms back in. So the welcome ritual on the body is we start by doing body rocking from the hip to under the knee. Now, body rocking is a very soothing, a very relaxing way to start the treatment. It's a bit like being cradled. It's a bit like a baby being rocked. It really helps the client to relax. This would be done on either side. It's also a very good way to feel if the client is relaxed or not. If the client's very stiff, you could then come back and do some more breathing exercises. Then in the welcome ritual, we go down to the foot and we work round the body with pressure movements. Really slowly introducing your hands to the client before you actually start the massage. This is actually a silk sheet that I'm using, which feels wonderful on the body. Coming down the arm, just light pressure movements. And then when we come down to the foot, we do a full body sweep. And now this is with very light pressure. It's very soothing, very calming, helps to get the body into the parasympathetic state. And then to finish the welcome ritual, we stretch the legs. Joint pain is a very common menopausal symptom, aches and pains, so stretching is a very nice thing to do for the joints, and then we press down. Now, what I'm going to demonstrate now is the foot and the front of the leg. The foot is where we start the massage. And this has some key acupressure points on that really help to relieve menopausal symptoms. So all the acupressure points I'm going to be working on are to help relieve certain menopausal symptoms. Now on the foot, I'm using a nourishing foot balm because dry skin is very common in menopause. Like I said earlier, the menopause really affects the integrity of the skin. We need estrogen and progesterone for the production of hyaluronic acid and also for sebum balance in the skin, so the skin can become very dry. So we just effleurage on the foot. And then I take my gua sha tool. This is the first tool I'm working with. I'm working into the sole of the foot. Now, the sole of the foot carries a lot of tension. And menopause can really make you feel very stressed, very tense, very anxious. And this is very soothing and relaxing to relieve any tension. The gua sha tool I'm using comes from Bian stone, which has a lot of energy in it. And it's also very soothing and calming to the skin. And then we go on to working on to the first acupressure point, which is liver 3, which is just at the top between the big and the second toe. Now, liver 3 is for digestion. Digestion can be affected during menopause. I see that a lot with my nutritional therapy clients. And it also helps with mood stability and hormone balance and detoxification. We need to detoxify our hormones from the body, particularly in perimenopause when you can be estrogen dominant. We then come under the foot and we work on kidney 1. Kidney 1 is good for water retention, bloating, again, very common menopausal symptoms. And then the last acupressure point we do on the foot is spleen 4, which is just on the outside here. Now, the spleen is very good for emotional balance, emotional stability. So this really helps with that. It helps with mood swings, irritability, again, very common menopausal symptoms. And the spleen also helps with water retention. And then we work around the heel, and then just finishing by doing some rotation in the ankle to really help to relieve any tension in this area. As I said earlier, you can get a lot of aches and pains in joints. So that's the foot. And then I am going to show you the front of the leg. The front of the leg, we start, so every bodily area that we massage, we start with Guashana silk gloves. Now, this is an Ayurvedic technique which really helps to detoxify the skin. The circulation is affected during menopause, and also detoxification. So the Guashana silk gloves help to detoxify, they exfoliate, and they help with lymphatic drainage. With these gloves, you can work with long stroking movements on larger areas, and then on smaller areas, you work in circular movements. So that's how we start every area. And now I'm going to apply my product. This is a rich, melting massage balm. The skin, it's actually a very common complaint, and I see that a lot with a lot of my clients, that they get very itchy skin. It drives them crazy, it keeps them awake at night. So this product really helps to nourish the skin. So we start with effleurage, and then working by pulling down on the leg as we come down to really help to stretch the joints, to relieve any tension that's building up in those areas. Then doing some kneading, some petrissage to really warm up the tissues here. Working around the knee area. This is an area that can become quite sore. The legs can hold a lot of water retention as well during menopause. And then I take my gua sha tool and I work in shorter movements up the leg. Now, this is to help with lymphatic drainage, but it's also to help with collagen synthesis. Menopausal women can lose up to 30% of collagen in their skin in the first 5 years. We need estrogen and progesterone for collagen synthesis, amongst many other things. So this helps with circulation, it helps with lymphatics, it gives energy to the skin, and it also helps with cellulite on the upper thigh area. These gua sha tools, like I said earlier, come from Bian stone, which is from lava. So it's very, gives energy to the skin and is very rich in minerals. And then we start to work on the acupressure points of the leg. The first one that we have is the spleen 6. Now this is a great one for menopause because this really helps to relieve hot flushes. Again, a very common symptom. Hot flushes, night sweats, mood irritability, fatigue, and also headaches and migraines. So that's spleen 6. You would obviously work longer on these points in the full treatment. And then we have stomach 36, which is on the outside just below the knee. Stomach 36, digestion, bloating, metabolism. There's a lot of things that happen with our metabolism during menopause, and this really helps to balance the metabolism and aid digestion, and also help with nutrient absorption. And then we have on the inside here, we have spleen 9. Now, I have a gua sha tool, which you can use on acupressure points as well. If you're working over the whole body, you can use this gua sha tool on some areas. I use it when I want to be more focused and apply more pressure. So the spleen is for emotional regulation and for water retention, and gives energy. During menopause, you can become exhausted, just have no energy whatsoever. And then we finish by doing some lifting movements on the leg. Just some pressure movements working upwards. And then I take my gua sha comb, and starting off with slightly heavier pressure, working up the leg, collagen synthesis, lymphatic drainage, and circulation. Circulation can really be affected during this period in a woman's life. And then we finish with the hands sweeping up the leg. I'd wrap the feet back up to keep them nice and warm. So after the leg, after the front of the leg, they would then do both arms using Pacific techniques. And then you do the abdomen. Now, the abdomen is an area that holds a lot of emotion. And it's an area that I really see in my menopausal clients, how this area really affects them and really help, the digestion and stomach pains and bloating are a common menopausal symptom. So we start the massage by just asking the client to take a nice deep breath in. Starting again by using the Guashana silk gloves. Really just to help with removing toxins from the skin and exfoliation. And then applying the massage medium. Now, I'm really working on the intestinal tract in this massage. So really working on the large and the small intestine to help with elimination, to help with digestive health, which is really affected during menopause. The metabolic effects of menopause can be quite considerable. We then tap on the solar plexus. This helps to balance emotional regulation, hormone regulation, and also helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, which connects the brain to the gut. So this is very good for digestion and gut health. So really working with the intestinal tract here. Doing some diaphragm presses to really help relieve tension. And then taking the gua sha comb again and working up to the lower rib area to stimulate circulation, get some circulation on the abdomen area. And working over the ovaries. And we also need to give the ovaries some love and attention, shouldn't neglect them. And then working on the acupressure points of the stomach, we have gate of origin, conception vessel 4. This is for hot flushes, bloating, mood stability. And then we have conception vessel 6, which is Sea of Chai, which is wonderful for calming and stability, and also for temperature regulation. Your thermostat can go a bit crazy during menopause, and you can really feel very hot all the time. And then the side of the navel is stomach 25 for digestion, for bloating, for water retention, and really digestive health, and also flatulence. And then we take the gua sha tool again, really working up to get some circulation to this area to really help the gut to function properly. And then just finishing the abdomen by rocking. Now, at this stage of the massage, you would then do the décolletage, working on the specific areas, also on chest lines with the gua sha tools. You would turn the client and do the back of the body. And then you would turn the client and you would finish with the closing ritual, which I'm going to demonstrate now. So just applying the product here. Now we start the closing ritual with the gua sha mushrooms, which are lovely on the temple area. This really helps to relieve tension, great for headaches, tension headaches, migraines, again, all areas that can really be affected during the menopause. We can work on the jawline area with the gua sha tool. This area holds a lot of tension, working on these muscles, and also working on the lymphatics on the neck. Because I see with a lot of my menopausal clients, they suffer from puffiness on the face. Puffiness due to one of the main reasons is due to lack of sleep. Sleep can be really affected during the menopause transition. Working under the cheek area here to help stimulate collagen synthesis, and also to help remove any fluid in this area. Then we can work around the eye area. Again, this is an area that we see the client becomes quite puffy, dark circles due to lack of sleep, due to poor circulation and lymphatic drainage. The gua sha tools are wonderful to use under the eyebrows to lift the eyebrow up and out, working in the direction of the lymphatics. This really is a lovely way to relieve any tension in this area. Then, in this massage comes in 60 minutes and 90 minutes. In the 90-minute treatment, you would then do a full scalp massage. The gua sha comb is a wonderful tool to work on the scalp. So the scalp massage combines the use of the gua sha tools and the therapist's hands, really helping to stimulate the circulation in the scalp. Now, to close the massage, we do something called emotional freedom tapping. Now, emotional freedom tapping, the reason that I use this in this massage is because I really want to close in all the good that I've done throughout this treatment. I want the client to feel balanced and relaxed. Emotional freedom tapping is backed up by a lot of science and research. And you're working on, it's a sequence, and you're working on specific energy points of the body. With emotional freedom tapping, you can use an affirmation if the client feels comfortable with it. And it would be a affirmation that you obviously would talk to the client at the beginning of the treatment and see why they're here. So for example, the affirmation could be, the client would say this as you tap on each point: I let go of all my tension and anxiety. I now feel balanced and calm. And they would say this on every area that you tap on. Come back onto the face. And then as we close the massage, I would ask the client to just take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. And as the client's breathing out, we say to the client, remember how you feel now. Remember how you feel so balanced, so relaxed. I want you to feel like this for the rest of today and the days ahead. At this stage of the massage, you would sit the client up and you would offer them a cup of hormone balancing tea, which is specially adapted for menopause. Specially adapted for menopause. It's a lovely soothing tea. And you would go through the home care advice. I have a continuation wellness card that the client would take home. And this has nutritional guidance, lifestyle medicine, products and treatments specifically tailored for the menopausal woman. There's also a wellness kit that the client takes home with them after this treatment, which contains the Guashana silk Ayurvedic gloves. It contains a breathing exercise. It contains the balancing tea. And it would have the home care card, the wellness card that they would take home with them. And of course, my book, which is coming out in May. So, as I conclude, let's remember one thing. Menopause is not the end. It's the start of something powerful. No woman should have to struggle through the menopause. And by offering professional massages and treatments targeting menopausal women, we can really give them the support that they need. So let's commit to making sure that every menopausal woman feels seen, heard, and valued. Just as I finish here, I just would like to say thank you. And for anybody that would like to learn more about how my work and would like to contact me, all my contact details are here. I'm on almost every social media platform. And I have 2 QR codes here. One is for anybody that is interested in my Menopause Wellness Concept, introducing that into your businesses. Please feel free to scan the code and I will be in touch with more details. And the other one here is the QR code for anyone that'd like to go on the waiting list for my book, because there are a few bonuses if you go on the waiting list. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Alison. That was
a pleasure.
That was absolutely beautiful. And I think we can all say that I think any woman going through the menopause would absolutely love a treatment like this.
Yeah.
I think bespoke treatments for people who are struggling with things like the menopause or mental health are really important. And I think that we are in such a good position to help so many people often overlooked. So thank you, Alison.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Hayley.
Perfect.